Chairlift. Something.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Up high, down low, too slow. It's time for an album review. Chairlift. Something. Chairlift is that New York band that hit it kinda big a handful of years ago after landing one of their singles in an iPod commercial, the song Bruises. And the song got them a lot of attention, and it's not hard to see why. I enjoyed the song, really catchy hook, lovesick lyrics, really cute boy-girl duet dynamic going on. The buzz behind them was getting so big, they ended up getting signed to Columbia Records, and their first album got reissued through that record label. And I did listen to the album, but it didn't really stick with me. Just kind of felt like light, simple, indie pop. It's got some nice synths, but not a lot of lasting power. Kind of like you eat a meal and then you're hungry, like just 5 minutes later. I'm not a big fan of meals like that, or music like that. Now, Chairlift has this sophomore album out, titled Something, on Columbia Records, and it's definitely more mature than the previous LP. These guys are definitely not just an indie pop band or a synth pop band anymore. Chairlift went back, did its homework, started pulling out some post-punk bass lines and some new wave drum beats and some art pop sensibilities. This combo comes together and gets kicked off really well on the first track, which has this bass line that is just all over the place, some really nice rhythms, and these synthesizers that just wail with this really bright tone that kind of makes them sound like they should be in a theme song to a 60s sci-fi television show. And frontwoman Caroline Polachek's voice just has this really wide range, a lot of personality. She is singing and also kind of doing these narrations, these spoken word bits. It just makes the song feel really eccentric, really fun, really strange. It's just like futuristic synth pop, but not like futuristic synth pop, kind of like what I'm sure people in the 80s would imagine all music would sound like in 2012. And I get that feel because the synths, the vocals, the drums, they all come together into this really sleek, smooth, total package that feels a little icy. But some of the songs on here have a quirky quality to them too, which kind of humanizes this LP, makes it fun, makes it feel a lot less robotic and boring. Like the song Frigid Spring, which has definitely the weirdest vocal melody on the entire LP, and I think it's the most memorable for it. And the other track that to me has a lot of personality is the first single to come off of this LP. Came out with a video for it last year, AMANAEMONESIA. There are more narrations on that track and synthesizers just gliding along really beautifully in the background. There are all these segues between the verses and choruses, vocals popping up in every direction, lots of different sounds and details. It's clear this track got a little extra spice, a little extra attention, and I don't feel like every song on this album did. Tracks like Met Before, I Belong in Your Arms, and Ghost Tonight, those tracks to me, they've got catchy hooks and overall they're decent songs, but they give up the choruses so easily, it's like the verses aren't even there. These tracks to me just feel much, much simpler, like they're just kind of playing it straight. The vocals don't feel as strange or as emotive, and musically these tracks to me don't throw out as many ideas either. Those tracks definitely do not hit me like the song Cool as Fire, which to me is easily the most beautiful track on this album. The beat on that track is really spacious, feels almost a little tribal, and the synths in the background just kind of swell up like they're strings or something. And the vocals are really spotlighted on this track. They really capture this idea of loneliness, and just the range, the melody that is being sung with the vocals, it's gorgeous. I wish more songs on here just felt as tender, as loving, as gentle. I kind of really feel like I'm being rocked to sleep with that song. After listening to this thing over and over, it's clear that all the songs are pretty decent. You know, all of them have good hooks, but not every song overall has a captivating or fun or interesting personality. It just makes some of the songs on this LP forgettable, you know? And I think Chairlift is kind of yet to hammer out their own niche in the sound that they're playing with, because I think it's a little too easy to kind of tack them onto the ever-growing list of bands that are just drowning in this nostalgia for the 80s. There are so many points on this LP where I kind of feel like I'm listening to the second coming of or the Cockatoo Twins. Usually stuff like that ruins albums for me, but not necessarily in this case, because the songs are so good. I'm feeling a light to decent 7 on this thing, but what do you think about this thing? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Why? And what do you think I should review next? Anthony Fantano, Chairlift, forever.